stay tuned for more internet content coming up in the internet content. Hey everyone, Genome here, coming at you from Moab, Utah. It's a frigid morning over here. I think the barometer hit around 41 degrees this morning, but we're still alive and kicking. As you can see behind us, my new friend here, we're all tent camping, so it's not a game for the weak. So, met a real interesting guy here. This is my next door neighbor, and he's going to be running one hell of a race here pretty shortly. But I'm going to introduce you to a guy named Bennie from South Africa. Bennie, why don't you say hello to everyone?
Hi, good day everybody. There we go. It's such an amazing trip here, and the people I met is just awesome. Everybody, my next door neighbor, he's not a runner, but he's here for hiking, and it's everybody here in Moab, just they have a love for nature, and they are super friendly. They've given me food and drink, so I'm just happy to be here.
All right. So Bennie, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, where you're from, and what you're here for?
Yeah, I'm from South Africa, Pretoria, and started running just to show my brother that I can. I'm very competitive, and so I didn't like running at all, and now I run ultra marathons and 100 milers, and believe it or not, I'm doing a 240 miler here in America. And I specifically picked Moab because it's 240 miles, and to my knowledge, it's the longest trail race in America. So I always pick the hardest and the longest and the toughest. That's just my nature.
So how did you graduate? Sorry about the mic, everyone. I only have one mic on this trip, and it's got a battery in it. So how did you want to get started on marathon racing? Did you, or actually, what's the proper term? Long distance race? How do you say that?
Yeah, ultra running.
Ultra running?
Yeah.
So how did you get into that from regular running?
I think it's just a natural progression. I think, especially in South Africa, we got a massive race there called the Comrades Marathon, and to my knowledge, it is the largest ultra marathon. It's on road. It's 90 kilometers, ran from Durban to Pietermaritzburg, and they got about 20,000, maybe a bit more entries every year. So it's the largest one in the world, and we're very proud of that marathon. And in South Africa, if you just start out with a 5k park run or whatever, the next question will be, so when are you doing Comrades? So it's just in South Africa, you're nothing if you didn't run the Comrades. So I had to progress there, and once you progress to the Comrades, the next step is what's tougher than the Comrades? What's next? So then it became a 100 miler, and the 100 miler became a 200 miler, and we also got a Munga race. It's 400 k's, roughly 250 miles, and it's tough as hell. It's not marked. You navigate via GPS, and yeah, that got me here. I start searching for races around the world, and yeah, this will be my first international race. Looking forward to it.
All right, so what's the longest race that you've ran so far in your running career?
It would be the Munga, and that is 400 k's, 250 miles, and I've done that 3 years in a row now. We had it in April this year, and I was on my way to run the Gobi in China. It is also a 400k, and the race unfortunately got cancelled 2 days before my flight, and it was devastating, and just decided to look for something else.
Well, there's always another race on the horizon, right? Yeah. So is this your first time in the States to run a race, or?
I actually was here in 2004, believe it or not, and I had a race in New York City. We ran the streets of New York City, and we did a 3.5 mile race. That's a little sprint. We did it in like 16 minutes, or I can't remember, maybe 20 minutes. I think 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm back for a little bit more than 20 minutes. It will be roughly 60 to 70 hours this time.
My Lord. Sorry, I lost my mic. We're in adverse conditions here, folks, so bear with us. Poor dead cat here. Again, I thought my 12 and a half minute 2 mile was a good time, but so I got blown out pretty good, but I never really ran more than 10 or 12 miles in a go. But so what kind of prep do you need to do to get ready for a race of this length?
Well, I would say, I can't really say, but I would say you need to be an ultra runner for at least the past 5 years. It could be less than that, but I think if you want to play it safe, rather about 5 years of ultra running. So you'll start out with your 5k runs and then progress to the 10k, progress to the half marathon, then the full marathon. This isn't something that you can train for in 1 year. You need to be a seasoned runner. Having said that, there's also not much that you can't train harder for this than you train for your normal ultra marathon or normal marathon even. You can only train that much. If you train more than that, you just don't get the benefit. So if you train for comrades, let's say 100 miles per week, but now I'm training for a race that's triple or 4 times comrades, I can't triple and 4 my training, if that makes any sense.
It does. All right, so it looks like we got a bunch of gear laid on this table. Is this going to be your gear you take with you on the run?
Some of it.
Okay. Let me go. I'll get behind the camera and zoom in here if you just walk through.
I don't have all my gear here. Some of them are still stowed in that large bag of mine. I'm very proud of this little phone of mine. It weighs less than a gel, only 22 grams, and yeah, this is a telephone, a full functional telephone. It doesn't have any smartphone capabilities, but it can make calls, so you just need it for emergency. Other than that, I have my Ultimate Direction back hydration pack, and as you can see, it's still flat. I need to start working hard here and focus a bit. I need to get all my compulsory gear in there. There need to be a space blanket in there. I need some emergency calories to go with me. And what is great is Tailwind is actually a sponsor of the race, and they're going to be available at each aid station, which make it much easier for me. And it gives me a lot of confidence knowing that I'm going to be racing on the brand that I train with and trust. That makes a big difference. I will also need some warm gear. It can get very cold up in the mountains, and yeah, I didn't study the elevation, but I see we're going quite high up in the mountains. I didn't really saw that. We're going up to about 3,000 meters above sea level, so it can get very cold. There is an emergency snow route if we get snow, so it's a bit of a longer route, but you don't go as high then. You go around the mountain. So I don't really hope for snow, but it's also very awesome to run in snow, or maybe not nice, but you get nice pictures. And it's always nice to say that you did run in ultra in snow. It makes it tougher. Bragging rights. Yeah, so other than that,
what do you normally carry with you?
I'll start off with just a normal leader because it's quite cool in the morning, but I'll have a capacity of about 2 liters, and there's some aid stations. The longest aid station to aid station distance is about 20 miles, which is the normal for me at the race that I know, the Munga in South Africa. But it can get quite hot here. Midday, it's very hot here. So I don't want to get off guard with running out of water. There's nothing worse than that. So my planning starts now. It's a little bit late, but rather now because if I do my planning now, it will be still fresh in my head. And hopefully I get this one right. It's such a long race. You normally say in a race, it just wasn't my day, or when it goes bad, and when it goes well, you say it was just my day. But in a race like this, it's not a day, it's days. So you're gonna say it's not my days, or it was my days, or at least if just one of the days is your day, it will be great. So looking forward to it, and can't wait for the race to start. It's now 10 a.m. The race starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. and that would be, I think, 3 p.m. in South Africa.
Bit of a time differential there, huh?
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, best of luck. It's an amazing thing. You know, I've read about these guys in the past. I've never actually met one, and it takes a special dedication to want to get out there and run a race that people would balk at driving a car on. So it takes a special breed, and I see over there you got a map plan, by the way.
Yes.
Is that, if you just want to hold that up real quick?
Yeah.
This is how serious they take it, folks.
Yeah. You got the elevation map here, and this is a 42-pager. Everything is in here, and I need to start studying it. But if you can read there, I marked most of the sections as easy. So hopefully it is easy.
So yeah, there's a lot of wacky up and downs here. It's kind of like West Virginia where I'm living at, but big long sweepers here, and it's really mountainous terrain. So, but at least the roads seem to be in decent shape. Are you going to be mostly riding on the road itself or on trails if they're available?
It seems like large sections are on jeep track, dirt track, dirt roads. And it doesn't seem that there's so much single track or technical terrain. If you look at the course record held by Courtney de Walter, the time she did it in, she's an amazing athlete, and the time she did it in does speak that the course will be runnable, and it will be mostly on an open track. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm a bit of a road runner myself, so I like routes where it's runnable. I don't want to scramble up a mountain and bushwhack. I prefer to see the trail and just flow.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and let you get back to your prep. I know you got a lot to do today. We're going to be out hiking around ourselves, but nothing like that. Hey, you want to hold out your flag for us real quick? We got the South African flag here.
Proudly South African.
Hopefully it came through in the breeze a little bit earlier, but he's had that set up since we've been in here, so definitely representing well. And is there anything else you want to tell the audience out there about yourself or about the race, or before we close?
Just that I'm amazed by how well things are going in America. I fell in love with this little town and with the mountains here. It's not difficult for me to fall in love with mountains. But yeah, everything else here is really in order. I'm amazed. USA is really as great as they say it is.
It has its points, that's for sure. Well, Benny, thanks for taking the time to sit with us today, and best of luck in your race. Do you have a social media presence somewhere that people can follow you?
Yes, definitely. I'm mostly active on Facebook. They can follow me, Bennie Roux. They'll see my profile. I'm the only runner Bennie Roux there is.
How do you spell the last name?
Bennie, and it's Bennie, Bennie, and Roux is Roux. And I'll post some. You can also you can follow the race live. We'll have GPS trackers, and you'll be able to track all the runners. And that you can just Google Moab 240, and the live link will be up and running tomorrow morning at 7, and you can watch the whole race.
All right. Well, we'll be cheering for you. Hopefully I can get on there. Our connection's pretty spotty out here, but we'll see what we can find. I'm sure there'll be news in town about it somewhere. So anyway, I once again appreciate you taking the time to sit with us today, and best of luck in your race. Be injury-free, be safe, be hydrated, and you'll at least have a handful of people over here that are rooting for you. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more internet content coming up in the or interview content coming up in the near future. And until next time, this is Genome coming at you from Utah. Out. All right, awesome.
Thanks, man. That